We look up to the north, we can see the glow from Phoenix.
This is raw footage
here, huh?
It is.
taken outside of Gila Bend.
I can get that little heater going for
There
you.
are pictures of flares.
If you want the heater, go for it.
But let me move the camera down. Let's see if I can zoom in. See, when I zoom in, it doesn't. It looks like a circle. It just looks like a moon actually, and that's not true. It's actually a flare. So let me pull out a little bit.
Those ones are still there over to.
Yeah, let me pan back to the right. So you can still see these over here to the right.
They're going down.
And they are going down. We can see them get closer to the horizon.
Jeff claims that they can't be flares from the range because you can't see them that far. Let me give you several examples of how far we can see light as long as it's bright enough and it's LOS. There's nothing in between us and the light. How far is the moon away? The moon's not even its own light. Look at the stars. I personally seen a rocket blast off from California sitting at Papago Park at Hole in the Rock. At first I thought it was a police helicopter, but then I saw it was a rocket.
Just went over to far right.
Yep, and Jeff, anytime, I actually have Wednesday and Thursday, there we go, another one. I have Wednesday and Thursday off. You know, you want to come out here and you want to look at these flares, you want to see the smoke, you're more than welcome to do it. But Paula, what do you say they are?
I say they're flares, Jeff.
Yeah, I say they're flares. We can actually see the smoke from here. And like I said, let me see if I can pan off to the right. Paula's going to be kind of in the way. That's okay, stand there, Paula.
No. All right.
These lights over here, let me zoom in. That's Interstate 8, and see, you can't even, I think that's a shell. But that is Gila Bend right there. So see, we're really close to Gila Bend.
I've also sat by Gila Bend and seen the red antenna lights on top of South Mountain.
Right there, to make a documentary, but that's okay because I can redo this audio. Oops, I lost my reference point. Oh, we can see the smoke. The other flares are lighting up the smoke.
See how when I zoom in, it makes the flare actually look like a planet or the sun or the moon or something, huh? But that's an optical illusion created by the lens in the video camera.
Paula's asked me, and for another oh, there goes some more. Those are anti-missile flares. They don't last very long. Those are the ones that Jeff saw arcing. See, those, there they go again. See them? Right up there, those lights. Those are anti-missile flares. See them? They come out of the airplane, and they, oh, you can actually see the airplane. Wow. Oh. You got the two lights there, and this one seems like it's closer to us. I couldn't estimate how far away. Oh, there goes again. Those are anti-missile flares. Look at them all. See, and you can actually see the airplane. See the airplane? Right in front of you is on the ground, and these are the lights up in the air. And I'm going to really spin around here really quick because we have some more stuff going on over here. These are some more of those flares. Hopefully, we'll see some more of those anti-missile flares. Hey, I said it right. See the smoke. It did before it went out of focus. Ooh, there we go again. There we go, anti-missile flares, see 'em? And it's out of focus. Just drive me nuts, drive me nuts. There's some more. The plane is rising. I mean, it's shooting almost straight up. Oh, there we go, some more. Unbelievable what these jets can do. Missed that one. Oh, there we go. You can actually see the airplane too. The airplane's just a couple seconds in front of all that stuff.
Let's compare my raw footage on the left with Jeff's raw footage on the right. Notice how they act the same? They're both pictures of flares. Mine's taken close up, Jeff's far away. After both Channel 3 and myself went out by Gila Bend Channel 3 actually got to go into the Barry M. Goldwater missile range. We couldn't do that because it's military range. They had special permission. But they videotaped flares just like I did. They went and showed Jeff. I went and showed Jeff. Jeff was devastated. After moving out of Mesa, Jeff found himself with an apartment with an open window that faced South Mountain. Then he started photographing balloons. Let me show you some, and you decide. Keep in mind that New Hampshire now has an anti-littering law. It's a $250 fine if you let a balloon go. They've had so many balloons let go that they actually have an anti-littering law against it. Look at all the apartment complexes around here that have balloons for their advertisement. What happens to those balloons? They get loose. I've seen them floating around. I'm sure you've seen them floating around. Let's go see some balloons of Jeff's. Jeff calls this video UFO landing in the trees. Look how it's floating on the air. And look at it. It actually looks like a four-wheel drive. What is that? Almost a Mario Kart. And there's an old photographer's trick. If you don't want the audience to identify what the object is, pull out. See how he just did that? Now it's a blob floating on the air. It's a balloon. Look at the wind in the trees in the foreground. See how it's going, how it's blowing? I would be more impressed if this thing stopped, backed up against the wind, and then shot off in an opposite direction. I would say, hey, that's not a balloon. But alas, it does none of that. It floats on the wind. And when was the last time you saw a UFO needing a landing strip? Don't most UFOs just come in vertically? I thought so. I have seen this video many, many times at Jeff's house. 3 balloons tied to a string. I would be more impressed if these balloons started doing figure eights independently of each other. Started going around in circles, interacted with each other. You know, sometime that you guys are really, really bored, tie 3 balloons to a string and watch what happens. They go as far out as the string lets them, then they come back. But you notice that they're floating on the air. They're balloons. I found this picture on Facebook. Let me prove to everybody that Jeff is petroglyph illiterate. He thinks that the Hohokams carved dinosaurs in the rock at South Mountain. I Googled dinosaurs, which Jeff hasn't, and guess what? They died 65 million years ago. The Hohokam were here in the valley between about 800 AD and about 1400 AD, somewhere in that area. That means that the dinosaurs were already fossilized in the ground when the Hohokam were here in the valley. I also double-checked my facts by sending an email to a petroglyph instructor, one of the top ones at ASU. He also has a book. Maybe Jeff should read it so he could become more petroglyph literate. The ASU instructor told me that Jeff had a wild imagination, that dinosaurs and Hohokam did not coexist. Ergo, they could not have carved a dinosaur in the rock, and the instructor identified it properly as a big-horn sheep. Notice the horns. Magicians are masters of misdirection, trying to get you to look at one hand while they're doing something with the other hand. Jeff does that with words. In this photo that I found on his Facebook page, places to see the Phoenix lights. Now see, he's confusing the Phoenix lights, which he never took a picture of, with his flare lights. See, that's what he's confusing that with. And when people see places to see the Phoenix lights, then they think that they're looking for the Phoenix, the famous Phoenix lights. And that way, you know, he gets his foot in the door. This is a classical Jeff Woolwine No attention to detail. No research. Making stuff up as you go along. He can't do that. He claims that the lights show up over the power plant in the summertime only if the power plant is turned on. 7 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. Think about that. During the summertime, the busiest times for the power plants, they would have those things running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If they don't, we have rolling blackouts. Jeff doesn't even know the name of the power plant. It's a Kyrene power plant. And I know personally it's on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, let's bring up another thing. I'm really attention to detail oriented. All my stuff and my videos have to be spelled correctly. Jeff took a video of mine and butchered it. Look at this. Staring, Nils, Paula, and Jeff. You know, that's why I have a dictionary. You would think, with the technology we have today, such as spell check on Facebook, that Jeff would not misspell his words again. But alas, that's not true. Jeff has no attention to detail. Details are facts. Look on this Facebook post where Jeff misspelled starring again. It's staring. And the weirdest thing is that this is written in third party. Yet we know that Jeff wrote it because he misspelled starring twice. He misspelled it in the credits and he misspelled it on Facebook. My point is, if Jeff is missing these small little details, then he will miss other details. By the way, the music was not by Bob Marley. It was the Bad Boys theme, the Cops theme, by Inner Circle. And what's really ironic is that it was Jeff's tape. I don't understand why he confused that. It seems like Jeff does no research whatsoever. If he would have researched my videotape, he would have saw that it's Privateer Productions, not Pirate Productions. That's right in the beginning of the videotape that he slaughtered. Now think about that. If he doesn't research something this simple, then we know he's not researching the petroglyphs. Jeff doesn't research a lot, but yet he spits out a lot of misinformation.
Privateer Productions presents.
All Jeff had to do to get the correct name of my production company was to watch the beginning of the tape. Jeff didn't do that. Jeff doesn't research his facts. His facts are wrong a lot of times. Let's listen to Inner Circle and let me prove to you that it's Inner Circle.
Bad boy, what you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown...
Let me tell you the story how Jeff Woolwine got the nickname the Balloonman. One day we're all standing in the backyard when all of a sudden Jeff pointed upwards to the sky at 2 white balloons and yelled out, "There's 2 UFOs." We all looked up, we laughed at him, and we named him the Balloon Man. But you know what? Thinking, we misnamed him. We should have named him Don Quixote. Don Quixote was a fictional character in the Spanish novel The Ingenious Gentleman Don Quixote of La Mancha, written by Spanish author Miguel, and I'm having a real trouble with this last name, so I'm not going to even try to pronounce it, but it's right there. Anyway, Don Quixote chased windmills, thinking that they were imaginary dragons. Jeff is doing that. Jeff is a Don Quixote. He is chasing these imaginary windmills. First they were the flares. Now they're the balloons. Thinking that they're dragons. Thinking that they're spirits. Yes, Don Quixote would have been a better nickname. Hindsight is always 20/20. Be sure to watch Part 3 in the Balloon Man series.